Welcome back to the WHHI News. Guess what? It's an exciting time right now. It's spring migration for birds through Hilton Head Island. Here to let us know what we can see, and even if we're not that familiar with what birds come through, is Patty Kappmeyer. She's on the board of Hilton Head Audubon. You've been there for a long time. Editor of their newsletter, Audubon.
Yes.
Has written a book ready for this. It's a long title. I don't know how it fit on the cover. Flight Through the Seasons and Discover Birding and Photography in the Lowcountry of Hilton Head Island. And you also own LowcountryBirdsAndNature. You write, you do photography,
right.
Public education. That's a lot of stuff.
It is a lot of stuff.
You must like your birds, right?
I do, and I work full time. So.
Wow. Well, good for you.
Yes.
Let's talk about spring migration.
Sure.
Really, where are these birds coming from? Where are they going to?
So they're coming from Central America, South America, Mexico. Some come just from the Everglades in Florida, like the painted buntings. And Hilton Head Island in our Lowcountry area sits on one of the avian superhighways.
Yeah, do they call it, I think, a flyway?
Yeah, we sit on the Atlantic Flyway. So there's 4 of them. And we're one of the busiest ones.
Good.
A lot of the routes actually converge right over, I'd say from like Charleston to South Georgia here.
So we're fortunate.
Yeah, and we're at we're at that in between. Like we're at the north end of this range and the southern end of this range. So
depends on the year, is it really?
Depends on the year and the weather.
Let me ask you this: when is officially, or when do we normally see migration start and end for spring?
It's basically happening now, April, May. Probably peaks in a few weeks.
Well, you're going to talk about some of the birds we can see during that time that we won't see all year. We're going to play actually some sounds for people. Yes, we're wacky, but sometimes you can hear them, and if you get to know the sounds, then you can spot them, right?
Right.
You're going to start with the great crested flycatcher. Tell me about that guy.
So they are one of the earliest spring migrants, and I think we just started hearing them here. They really have a distinctive call. They have a really bold crest, bright yellow belly. They don't come to feeders. Very rarely will you see them at feeders. They tend to hang out at the treetops.
Top of the treetop?
Right, and last year I got an email in our Audubon email about a guy who was watching the golf tournament somewhere in the Myth. Yep. He goes, "What is that loud, obnoxious bird?" I go, "I'm crazy. I've got my Merlin. It won't identify it." And I wrote him back and I said, "That's the great crested
It's pretty
flycatcher."
distinctive.
Yeah.
So let's take a quick listen, folks, so you can hear it. Oops.
That's it.
If you hear that, and that's another little buzzy one it does, right?
Yes.
Okay, we got done with him. But also, do both the male and female kind of have that tuft on top of the head?
Yes.
Oh, they do? Okay.
Yes, and they nest in the tree cavity. So we've had one now for years, a couple that comes back in one of our old trees in the backyard.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the babies fledge or anything?
I haven't. I've seen them protect the cavity from, crows and the woodpeckers.
Yep. Wow.
So,
okay. That's a cool one. Okay, this one is one that people complain, but it's spring when you start hearing this too.
Yes.
Like at night or dusk or dawn, and sometimes it wakes people up.
Yes.
What is it?
It's the Chuck-will's widow. It's a large nightjar or a nocturnal bird. Typically, they're most active at dusk after the moon rises, and especially on moonlit nights, you can hear them calling. They're just known for that call that echoes through the woods. Yeah.
Do they nest on the ground?
They nest on the ground.
Aren't they more vulnerable then to predators?
I would think so, but it's also
they camouflage very well.
They camouflage very well. Yes. Yes.
All right, ready for this one? This is wild. Here we go.
Let's go.
And people that don't know it will say, "What was that?"
It's a Chuck-will's
it is
widow.
distinctive as well.
Yes, yes.
And I've been lucky enough to see them. I've flushed them from like a wooded area, but they are weird-looking birds. And we're showing a picture we did.
Neat. I've seen them at Fish Hall before dawn. I usually go out before first light.
Good for you, Patty. I don't know if I'll be joining you for that, but God bless is all I could say.
Sure.
The next one you have is this is a beautiful bird.
Yes, it is.
Talk about it.
It's a northern parula. It's a tiny little warbler, very secretive. They tend to hide in the canopy. They have a bright blue back, yellow throat, and a really crisp white belly. They like to nest in the Spanish moss. Again, I said they're very secretive, but I've been watching them for years in our backyard. And this little guy would come to one of our bird baths like clockwork, 4 p.m. every afternoon.
Do you know we're already out of time? We used up our 5 minutes.
We
so
did.
I'm going to play this last song. You've got to come back, okay?
Sure, I will.
All right. Here's the northern parula.
Sounds like a typewriter, somebody told me.
Wow, Patty Kappmeyer, I can't believe time went so
I
fast.
know.
It's so much
We'll come
fun.
back.
I want to thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
Okay, and we'll be back in just a moment.